Okay, had myself muted apparently. All right, so this is Peter Beatty. So now if you can hear me, go ahead and type yes in the chat box. Everyone was typing silence there for a minute. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, our guest is actually experiencing a little bit of technical difficulties on his end, so I'm just waiting for him to straighten things out. As soon as he does, we're going to get started here.
Hey, Peter, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Great.
Okay, so I'm going to try to expand this questions box because it's ridiculously small. Okay, wow. Okay, so George, yes. Bob, yes. Doug, you're good. Ralph, yes. Bob, yes. Bob, yes. Mary, yes. David, yes. Sweet. All right, so everyone can hear us. So why don't we just start off, since we're still waiting for a few people to come on, since it's just 7 o'clock on the dot. Why don't we, where's everybody from tonight? Might as well find out where everyone's from in this part of wherever you're coming from in the world. Go ahead and type in the box there. Be interesting to find out where everyone's from. All right, Florida. George from North Carolina. Wow. Bob from Sacramento. Bob from Wisconsin. Kevin from St. George, Utah. Ralph from Louisiana. Sweet, we got a lot of nice people, nice diverse group of people in here tonight. Nice turnout, and we've got some great content in store for you. And I guess I'll just go ahead and get started. As you know, my name is Peter Beatty, and so welcome to the Mobile Web Video Secrets Live webinar training. This was, of course, supposed to be a follow-up to my recent video marketing secrets course as kind of a bonus training, and this is basically what we're going to go over here is how to create professional looking high quality web video, with nothing more than your favorite mobile device such as an iPhone, Android phone, iPad, stuff like that. Mobile video is on the rise, and it's definitely the future, and we all want to make sure we're keeping up with it. It's changing at such an alarming pace. With all these new devices coming out lately, and we just gotta get on the boat before it gets too late. So what I've decided to do is bring on a guest speaker tonight to help me out, who is actually the expert in this area. I actually came across our guest speaker when I was looking, I was perusing the internet late one night, trying to figure out how to produce high quality videos with my iPhone. So I did what probably most of us would do. I went online and I started looking for information on this. Where could I get a course on how to learn how to use the iPhone to its fullest potential to produce nice video. And I came across some threads in the Warrior Forum, people talking about this person's course. And I went and I purchased the course. And when I purchased it, I got an email from the course owner, and apparently he was also a customer of mine. So kind of worked out great. We kind of hit it off and talked about how we could work together in the future. And since he kind of specializes in mobile web video, and I kind of specialize in product videos and offline client-related videos and stuff like that, I figure both of our stuff kind of complements each other greatly. So I figured we'd do a live training and bring him on as a guest, and just let him show you the stuff that he's doing. So our guest is Matthew Peters from mobilevideoignition.com and Expert Video Academy. Did I say that right? ExpertVideoEmpire.com, sorry. So I'll just go ahead and introduce Matthew Peters to the call.
Thanks.
Matthew, are you there?
Yeah, I am. Thanks for having me on.
Cool, glad to have you here. So if you want to just take it away, what we're going to do is we're going to start. Matthew's going to give you some nice information on how to get started with mobile web video, some cool tips and tricks you may never have heard of before, some stuff I've never heard of before myself, and then we're going to, at the end, I'm sure you kind of realized I hinted at the members area. In the Video Revolver members area, I've actually talked Matthew into doing a special deal for my customers if you're interested in taking your learning to the next level. But you're going to get enough information in this free webinar training to get you started, and more than enough to get you started. So only invest in that additional training if you feel that you've got enough value out of this free content. So Matthew, why don't you go ahead and take the floor?
Great. Is my screen showing here?
Yeah, I got to hand the screen over to you. That would be a good idea.
Just want to make sure everybody's on the same page.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It wouldn't be a webinar if I didn't screw something up. I'm always screwing webinars up somehow. Okay,
It's
so
live, you know, there's always something happens.
yeah, so if I make you an organizer, that should give you the screen, right?
Presenter, yeah.
Presenter. Here we go. So you should, okay. Unfortunately, a recording error has occurred, but can you take the screen now?
Yep, I'm just selecting this right here.
Okay, cool, I can see. Can everyone see Matthew's screen? It should say using mobile devices for video marketing. Yes. Sweet, okay.
And everybody can hear me okay?
Yes, everyone's saying yes, so I assume so. I can hear you perfectly.
Well, great. Well, I think I'll just get started then, if that's okay. My name again is Matthew Peters of Expert Video Empire, and what I do is I teach people how to use their smartphones, their tablets, webcams, and so forth to create professional quality videos. And there's a lot of information out there. People believe that it's more difficult to create pro quality videos than it actually is. But really, when you think about it, get my slides going here. You got to think about why mobile video and why I choose mobile video. The most important thing is that you start making videos for your marketing, and I found that mobile just makes it faster, easier, and it's much more convenient. So the big thing is that we all start making videos because, as Peter said, kind of that tide is rising right now. YouTube is so easy and free to use. We can get our messages out there. It's just now let's work on the quality of our message and the quality of our content. And there's really 5 reasons why I think it is the good to go mobile. First is it's so efficient. When I got into video production, it was actually before this type of camera, but we were using tape. And when you're using tape, there's a lot of time involved. When you take that recording, you record the video, and then you have to do something with it. You have to work with it in what they call post-production. You have to put it online or on your website or what have you. And they moved to flip, which made the process so much simpler. It's just one button. You could zoom in and zoom out, but it's really just record. But the problem is you had to take that video and then you had to put it onto your computer. And every time you go through a step, it adds time. And that's one thing for myself as an expert or a professional. I didn't have a lot of time to make video, even though that was my industry. I was promoting a book at the time, and as I was promoting that book, I wanted to make videos for it. But I was using that same old model of those professional videos I did in my commercial days of making commercials and working with small businesses. And I realized something had to change because the model was broken for me. And so if you look at it, every time you take that video and you work with it, you have to spend a lot of time. So if it's on your computer, now you have to do some editing. Some people use Final Cut Pro. Some people would use Vegas Video or Premiere. There's a lot of different ones you can use, and they're all good. And the thing is, when you get that project all put together, you see all these tracks here, you need to render it into one file that would go online, and you upload it to YouTube. So I'll just tell you when the light bulb went on for me is when I had this professional camera. I was standing in front of it. First time being in front of the camera took a long time, and because I had to get everything perfect, and I couldn't get everything perfect. So I took all these takes, probably 10 takes on different parts of my video, and then what I did is start processing it. And in that processing, I ended up spending 20 hours from start to finish on this video, and I just knew that I couldn't do that a second time. I was just gonna, I was just gonna start crying if I had to do that again.
I can relate to you on the 20-hour thing. I sometimes spend a lot of time, especially on like my sales videos and stuff. So that number sounds realistic to me.
Yeah, and the thing with sales videos or opt-in videos, that's what I would spend the bulk of my time on when I create videos. But there's a lot of videos that you don't have to go through that whole process. And what mobile video does is it makes it so much more simple. So here's the process I use now is I record on a mobile device. I trim the ends so that the front and the back, and then I upload it or publish it to YouTube right on my phone. Now, there's nothing magical about that, but really there's a couple things that we need to shift as far as our thinking in creating a video. And one of the models I use is what I call mastering the art of the one take. So let's say you shoot your first take, your second take, your third take, and you kind of screw up a little bit. You're not just happy with it. What you need to do is after 4, 5, 6 takes, you finally find one that's good enough. And then what you do is you trim the beginning and the end, and then you upload it to YouTube. And really, YouTube is the hub that I use for pretty much everything. So when I'm creating any video, I upload it to YouTube because I do have other people that work on different parts of my video, and it's a great hub for me to use. And when they're done with it, when I'm done with it, I can select if I want it to go live. I can keep it private or unlisted. There's a lot of options there, and it's free. But this getting this one take down is, you know what, you don't have to be perfect. And as I work with business owners, really the thing I find is they don't shoot video because they feel like they have to be perfect. They feel like they have to be just like the people that they see on TV. And I'll tell you right now, perfect is not believable. So you need to get some of your personality in there. People are forgiving, and that is just something I've learned. And the side benefit of doing it this style is you are continually honing your message, you're sharpening it, you're getting it really tight. Imagine going through your message 5, 6, 7 times. You're just making it shorter and shorter and tighter, and you're not using editing as a crutch like I was. I was like, oh, I'll edit that with this other piece. And it just ends up costing a lot of time.
If I could just add, can I add one thing there before we move on?
You bet, yeah.
I just want to say that some people, like I've gotten some feedback from members of my course, and some people are camera shy, which is very understandable. It's getting in front of the camera and speaking, or even a microphone, is just not a natural feeling. And if there's any one piece of advice that I would give anyone, it would just be to be yourself. I screw up all the time, especially on webinars, and people understand. They actually see that you're human. So you can get in front of that camera and just be yourself. And if you screw up, you screw up. I mean, just keep rolling with it and kind of admit that you screwed up and keep on going.
Yeah, and it is that personality. People will be attracted to your personality. And when I realized when I was trying to make everything perfect, then it was I wasn't being myself.
Yep.
But really, the second reason is that it's always with you. So why have another camera if you can learn how to use the one you have with you all the time? You can take it out of your pocket or purse and you can start recording HD video within, I think it's about 6 or 7 seconds from completely off to recording. Another huge feature of it is the Wi-Fi capability, and this is why you'll start seeing every camera coming out in the next year or so. They have to have Wi-Fi capability because they need to compete with how good these cameras are getting on these mobile devices. So one of the great things is you shoot the video and you can upload directly to YouTube, to your website, to Vimeo, to Dropbox, or to Tumblr, and there's a myriad of sites that you can upload to. So this is one of the key features is you're bypassing the computer editing and all of that. You also have thousands of apps. There's a couple apps here I'm going to go into a little bit later, but you have the App Store for Apple, and you also have Google Play for the Android apps, and they just range from free to a few dollars, like $4 or $5, really, for some excellent apps. And it's really all-in-one production. I held off to purchase the iPhone until I tried some of the checking the quality when I was in the Apple Store, and I realized that I had everything I needed. It was really a mobile video production facility or device right there, all encapsulated, and I was so excited, and I was just in awe as I started going through this. And I think sometimes we don't realize what it is we have. We can shoot HD video, we can record audio, and it's incredibly high quality without any extra microphones. You do broadcasts. You can do your editing and your effects in there. This is iMovie. It's a $5 app, and you can see you can do some really pretty complicated editing. You can add sound effects and music tracks. It's unbelievable what it does. And then also you can do your distribution and syndication. So once you create that you package your message. Once you create that video, you can send it out to the world instantly. So every connected device on the planet can see your message if they're looking for it, and you know how to show that to them. It's available. And I actually have a video that shows how to go from record to worldwide in under 2 minutes. So it really, the technology is becoming less and less the issue. It becomes more and more, how do you package your quality of your product, your message, and how do you get that out to people? So in this whole process, you can use your iPhone right out of your pocket. You can use your Android device or your tablet. But if you want to go that next step to getting pro quality results, there's a few accessories that I recommend that people get. And there's 3 different types that I want to kind of cover tonight. One is a stabilizer of some sort. And I'm not asking that you go out and buy a $300 tripod. Some of you may have some old tripods. I'd say use that. Use what you've got. And this right here, I just chose a couple that I purchased from Target. You can get them from $15 to roughly $35. And you see the difference in the height. You want to make sure you're shooting it at head height. And 50 inches is not going to be head height for everyone, so something like this you probably want to set on top of something, whereas a 66, that's going to get you high enough. When you're spending less money on a tripod, though, you want to realize that they won't have what they call a fluid head, meaning you're just going to want to lock down the camera in a certain spot. So if you're going to try to do some panning, which is back and forth movement, or tilting up and down, then you're going to want to spend $65 to $100 on a tripod. Here's some other really cool ones that I like. This is the Joby Gorilla Pod. They are so popular. As I've looked across websites, they are sold out. They're sold out in stores, but you can still get them. The great thing about it is they fit pretty much, almost fit in your pocket. They fit in a small bag or briefcase, and they wrap around things. This is the really cool one that I have, and this is the one I have with me all the time, is the Joby Gorilla Pod. This magnetic. So these feet will actually, they'll stick to a filing cabinet. They'll stick to any kind of a metal post on the top of a car, not a moving car, but you know, it's just anytime you need a static image, these are great to have along. And there's some other fun ones here. If you do video blogging, this is a great one. You don't have to set it up. You just have this. It's really just a 9-inch pole here that you can stretch out to 43 inches, and you can have that away from you, and you can look at your image on the camera and record in standard definition, but still you're able to make it look like there's someone you have a cameraman there, or you can even use this as you're walking through a property and you want to talk as you're walking through, or you want to have someone follow you. You can actually hold this so it's behind you and people can see where you're going. There's a lot of really cool things you can do with it. This one is called the Owly Bubo. And the cool thing about this, I think it's about $160. And it allows you to have a better grip on the camera. You can have a much smoother handle on it, and you can get much smoother shots. And it also allows you to put different lenses on it. So if you want to go more professional, you can take lenses from different DSLR cameras, SLR cameras, and get adapter rings and use them on this. As well as it has a nice microphone on it that you can use for, you don't have to plug in any extra microphones. This is an interesting one that's pretty new. I've seen someone do this just, you know, with a washer and some string, but really what it is it's a wire, and you stand on it, and you, instead of pushing down, you're pulling up, and when that wire is taut, it gives you nice fluid motion. You can move back and forth, you can, you know, tilt up and down, and it fits in your pocket. So there's the problem that you'll see with any kind of smartphone or iPad is they don't have a place for you to screw in your tripod, so you do need some type of mount. And if you have an iPhone, here's a pretty good one. They used to have the Glyph, but this is the Glyph Plus, which I like better because it actually wraps around the phone. It's not going to fall out so easily. The one drawback and the one thing I want you to look at when you're getting a tripod mount for any phone is make sure you have access to all the ports. If you notice right here, this one is blocking the audio ports, so you can't plug a microphone in or use your headphones with it. And then at the other end you have your power, so if you want to shoot a longer video, you have a low battery, you want to keep shooting, you're not able to plug in power if you have something covering that. So that's just something to keep in mind. One of the best ones I found for any smartphone is the super mount you can get from FastCap. And this allows you to put a phone of any type in here that's anywhere from 1 3/4 inches to 3 inches, and it's spring mount. So it just grabs onto it, and you can shake it. It's going to stay in there. It's a nice sturdy mount. And then this one actually was my answer to being frustrated with what was out there. I didn't want to spend $30 on a mount. You can get these for about, this one's about $30. This one's about, I think, a little under $20. This one my son and I actually put together, and the cool thing about it is it has a suction cup here, and the suction cup will adhere to any non-porous surface. So iPhones, iPads, or not iPads, iPods, and a lot of smartphones have either a metal or a glass back, and allows you just to suction that on there. It's on really tight. And the other feature here is that you can clip not only notes on it, but you can also clip this onto different objects. And so what I do is I put my notes right underneath the lens. So if I have bullet points of things I want to cover in my presentation, I can do that, and it still looks like I'm looking right at the camera.
That's huge. Because usually when people get in front of the camera, especially me, you forget what you want to talk about. So.
Oh yeah,
nice.
That happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
Now, if we're going to talk about audio, I know that Peter covers this in his programs, but a lot of us are familiar with the Audio Technica. They have the ATR 3350, which is a lavalier style microphone, and the ATR 6550, which is a shotgun style, or a type that you point directly at your source, like someone's mouth, and it kind of blocks out what's going on around you in the room. So both of these get you a nice up-close sound. If you want to use those with a mobile device, you're going to need an adapter, though. And I see that you can see this says TRRS. It's just a fancy word for, or acronym, I guess, for tip, ring, ring, sleeve. And that's just the configuration of the plug. This is the plug. This is the jack here. And this actually has some circuits in it. So it's not just a standard thing. You can go down to Walmart and get an adapter. You want to get this. The best place I found is kvconnection.com. And this is the part number you'd want if you have these type of microphones. It's designed specifically for microphones that have batteries. If your microphone does not have a battery, they do have another part number for that. And KV Connection is really good for searching out your specific mobile device there.
Now, it basically plugs into the headphone jack in the iPhone, right? And it basically converts it into, lets you run a microphone through the headphone jack, correct? Just for clarification for everyone?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And there's also, you can get some pro quality plugins here for, this is the Varicorder XLR adapter. XLR is this type of plug here that you can use your microphones that people are more used to outside of the video world here. And this one is a new one I came across. It's the Belkin iPhone directional microphone. And what it does is it plugs right into the mic port here, and then you can tighten it down with a little screw there. And it's $40, $35, $40. It's a great, I've heard the quality, it's really good, so I'd recommend that one. And that's something you can actually keep in your pocket. You don't have to worry about any adapters because it plugs right in. Now, as far as production, where do you start? So you've got your iPhone, you've got your Android device. Really, where I like to start is kind of at the end where you want to have your video end up, which is going to be on YouTube. There's a few things you want to do with your YouTube account. Is you want to make sure you have an account that's separate from your personal account. So you don't want to have your ski vacation videos, the birthday party videos on stuff like that. You want to have one that's specifically set up for your business. And then I like to set up YouTube sharing so you have some free syndication, and I'll go into that in just a moment. And then you want to sync it with your mobile device ahead of time. So right here, this is in your YouTube settings, and you just go to sharing. And you can see right here it says share your activity, and I have circled here when you upload a video and you make it public. So if you have a private video or if you have an unlisted video, it's not going to show up. But if you have it public when you upload it, it's also going to be out on Facebook, Twitter, and Orkut. Orkut is owned by Google, and that's why it's there. But it's great, simple syndication. These channels are free to set up, and it's just getting your message out in front of more people. And then you want to sync with your mobile device. So any mobile device you have that has a YouTube app, you just want to go into your YouTube app, select either History or My Videos tab, enter your YouTube Gmail account, email, and password, and you're connected. So at any time when you're done shooting a video, you can trim it, and then you can upload it directly to YouTube. You don't have to keep entering your email password. It's saved in there. And if you have an Android device, it supports multiple YouTube accounts, which is great because you can have client accounts, you can have your personal account, and your own business account. You just select which one you want to upload to. It makes it a lot faster. So when you're shooting with a mobile device, there's some ideal mobile setup that you're going to want to make sure you do. The first thing is make sure you have enough space to record. So if you're going to go to shoot like you're going to have go out to a client and do some video recording, it's going to be pretty embarrassing if you run out of space. So you want to check ahead of time. And the rule of thumb I found is 1 gig is roughly 12 to 14 minutes of HD video. And that's 1280 by 720. And I personally don't go any higher than that for shooting on the web. The video files get really big when you shoot larger video than that, and I don't find this necessary to go directly to YouTube or my website, so I keep it right at that. You want to have your airplane mode on, and I found this out the hard way. I was doing, I think, the 3rd or 4th take of a really long video I was doing, and I had a phone call in the middle of it, and it turned off right where I was at, and it was just very frustrating. So make sure you put it in airplane mode so you save yourself that frustration. And then I like to put the auto lock to off. Select never or the longest if some of them are 10 minutes. That's just so the screen doesn't go dark or turn off anything that you're working on. And then lastly, a lot of people don't think about this, but you want to set your brightness at roughly 75% and turn off your auto brightness. And the reason you want to do that is when you're shooting video, you're going to feel that it's either too light or too dark, and you're going to compensate for that. And you're going to want to put on more lights, or you're going to want to turn off lights, and you want to make sure that you don't have your brightness at 100% or 25%, because what's going to happen is you're going to overcompensate, and it's going to be really hard to fix it on the back end. Now, there's a couple apps that I recommend, and when I say iDevices, I mean an iPad, iPod, or iPhone. These are basically iDevices because they share all the same apps. I use Filmic Pro for all of my video. There are other ones out there, but I found that this one is the best for me. A couple of reasons is it allows you to set and lock different things like your focus. You can move this around, and you can select what you want to focus on. You can also set your exposure for different things, and then you can also set your white balance. So you basically tell the camera what is white. You're not going to, if you have mixed lighting, you're not going to have blue tinted or orange tinted skin. You can set that white balance. And the biggest thing that I haven't seen on any other apps is this right here, which is the VU meter, or the volume unit meter. It shows you the level of the audio that it's picking up or recording. That's great if you're shooting some video. You want to make sure that you have an audio signal in the first place. And secondly, that you're not distorting or it's not too quiet. You don't want to waste the time of shooting some great video and you can't use it. Now, Android's a little bit more tricky, and I found this out the hard way. I purchased a Android smartphone. I got the Galaxy Note, loved it, and I started shooting some video with it. Standard camera was pretty good. Everything was automatic though, and when I tried to use Camera Pro, which I really like, so if you can get Camera Pro, use it, it would crash my phone. And the problem I saw is Android has so many different versions of phones out there, so many different manufacturers, so many different hardware limitations, that it's really hard to design one single app that's going to work with all of them. So I went into the settings, I did a lot of different settings, adjustments, and I couldn't get it so it would not crash. However, the good thing is, before you purchase the app, you can look at the reviews and the notes people have on the different apps in the Android marketplace. People will tell you what phones they found it works with, and what operating systems, what versions that these apps work with. So that's kind of a good thing to keep in mind. Now, here's a big one. This is the biggest problem I see people have is how do you hold the camera? We're all used to having the Kodak ZI-8 or the Kodak Play Touch. We hold it like this. So when we get our iPhone, we start shooting video, we hold it the same way. But let's consider portrait mode or how people use the FaceTime camera. We don't want to shoot that way. We always want to shoot in landscape. The reason is when we shoot in landscape, we're actually going to be playing back in landscape. So on your website or on YouTube, you're going to be playing it back on landscape. So if you happen to be recording in portrait, what's going to happen is in the playback, you're going to have a big black bar to the left and right of your video, and your video is going to seem much smaller. So just make sure you shoot it in landscape mode. Now I'm kind of wrapping up here. This is the spontaneous videos to impress clients. If you want to have some client videos you want to make, you can make them on the fly. And this is something that I know Peter alluded to is you have your iPhone with you, you have a couple little pieces of equipment or accessories. You can make pro quality videos right then and there and really surprise them. And this may be even before you get an account. Now, if you are a professional or expert coach, you can do this for yourself. This is really just some ideas to get the ball rolling. And one of the things I tell people is have a let's start now attitude. You're in their office, you're at their work. You know, let's shoot one video before I leave. And the great thing is you can shoot that video. You could even be in your car, or you can get home and you can do some quick editing and put it up and send them a link saying, hey, here's your YouTube video, and I've done some SEO for it so people can find your business, and it's live now. People can see it. Or you can keep it unlisted so they can approve it first if that. But here's some ideas. You can have expert teaching moments, frequently answered questions, promotional videos, consumer advocacy videos, rave reviews, and what I call treasure hunting.
What you want to explain what that treasure hunting one and the rave reviews really quick? Rave reviews basically where you'd maybe ask some of their clients or customers some questions about their business.
Yeah. The rave reviews is capturing reviews. You can do some of those pretty quickly, and then the treasure hunting is helping them find some of the things they're overlooking. And I'll just go into that in just a second. I'll expand on that.
Cool.
So the thing is, they may not see themselves as an expert, but really if they've been in business for any time at all, they've seen it all. They have a unique perspective that other people don't have. And if there's something they're passionate about, why did they get into this line of work? Let them talk about it. Let them talk about what they're an expert at. So if someone has a business, they've been doing leather repair for 23 years, or they have a pool cleaning service, and why do they choose those specific chemicals after all those years? There's a reason why they do that. Or if they're award-winning real estate agent, what are some techniques of presenting an offer? Now, I call this one frequently answered questions because there's a lot of times as a business owner, you have frustrations, pains, problems, that people keep asking the same questions, you keep giving those same answers. And what frequently answered questions allows you to do is pre-qualify their leads. You can put these videos on their website, on YouTube. It generates leads, but it also generates the right kind of leads. You're pre-qualifying them. So what are the top questions they always answer on the phone, email, when people stop in, they're just tired of answering? Help them out with that. What are the problems that people bring to them that just drive them crazy? You're trying to help them pre-qualify the people that come in to get rid of the wasting of the time. And then what are the things that you want people to know about your industry? What things are misconceptions? And then promotional videos. If they have ongoing promotions, they have evergreen discounts, these are something like you say, mention this video and receive 10% off blank. A lot of them will have outstanding coupons that are just, they're perpetual coupons and stuff. This is something you can take written advertisements and put them into a video form. Now, consumer advocacy videos are really cool because it positions them in a very unique way. They're acting in the best interest of the customer, and the customer will see that they're looking out for them. They're also framing the conversation and the qualifications. So what they're doing is they're saying, okay, here are the things, the top 10 questions need to be asking any contractor before hiring them. And it just so happens that this client of yours, or potential client, they answer all those 10 questions in the positive. So they set themselves apart by being able to pass the test. And so this is something you can find out, what is it that they can set up something like this? What are the top 10 questions? Now, rave reviews. Everybody wants more reviews. Everybody needs more reviews. To do something that's very simple to get started is, if you're going to start with a business you're already a client or customer of, this is a great way to use yourself as the first, I guess, guinea pig, if you want to say. But there's also other online tools, services, where you can direct people to easily collect their video testimonials. There's services out there where you just send people a link and say, hey, would you answer these 3 questions for us? And the great thing is they just sit in front of their webcam and they talk, and they can review it, and if they like it, they can save it, and you get a notification that you have a new testimonial. Or you can schedule a day to batch testimonials. And something that I did about, I'd say about 4 or 5 months ago, is I went to a doctor's clinic, and during that day they had 212 patients come through. And out of that, I just asked random people, had their office staff ask random people, and out of all these reviews that we got, we found 16 that were really good. And what we did is we took those 16 reviews and we put them up on their website and on YouTube. And this is, can you imagine taking a business and batching testimonials where I set up the lights, I had a microphone ready, and it really wasn't anything complicated. It's just we had a nice, it was just a nice look to everything because we were prepared for it. And the last thing I want to cover here is treasure hunting. When you're in a business, when I'm in my business, there's things that I don't see. Every business owner is in their business, and sometimes they get lost in seeing it from a new perspective. And that's what you bring. You bring fresh eyes. You bring a fresh perspective to the business. You have the power to find hidden gems. What services are people unaware that they do? What are the top selling services or products they have? And what are their top profit products or services? You ask them these type of questions, you'll find out that there's hidden money that they're just going to love you for finding for them. And one good example here is services that people were unaware that they have or do. I was at an office where I would go in a couple times a week, and this was for 2 years. And they had services that I never knew about because the services were on a little, it was probably about a 8x10 card, and they had all these services I didn't even know they had. And so it's exposing those different services. You could have each service as a short video. You could have combined services videos. There's just so many different things you can do with video. You can do these things instantly, and you can upload them. And you can tell them, hey, listen, I'm going to have this video up within the next week or so. I'll just let you know when I have it up so you can take a look at it. And you can actually go home and over-deliver. You can surprise them by, within a few hours or a day, say, hey, here's this video. I hope you like it. And you're now setting yourself up to over-deliver. They're going to want to have you as their video person or their marketer because you are over-delivering. So in order to do these things, what do you need to take with you? There's really just a few things that I take with me. I take, obviously, my iPhone or mobile device, some type of stabilizer, and I found that the GorillaPod, the magnetic version, is the best one for me to take with me. Then you need a tripod adapter and a microphone. If you need an adapter, bring that too. But that's really all there is to creating business videos, really all there is to mobile video production. The future is mobile, and that's something that we all need to think about is how do we position ourselves right now in this mobile video marketplace. A lot of people may think that, well, I'm going to keep using my big professional video camera, or I'm going to continue using these DSLR cameras, a very expensive camera, just because the quality is really good. But I got to tell you that within the next year or so, everything is going to be going towards having those mobile aspects to them. And you're going to be riding the wave because you're going to know how to do these things with smartphones and tablets because you already have them with you. And so the last thing I want to say here is we talked about smartphones and tablets, but really there's a lot of other mobile technologies here, technologies with laptops and how laptops are going to be developing and combining with tablets over the next months and years. Some of those tools are going to allow you to create content, create training, create your marketing videos, things like webcams and screen captures. If you're not familiar with the screen capture, it's basically recording what's going on in your computer screen. Once you create that content, a lot of people don't realize this, is not only can you syndicate it across many different platforms, many different websites, and there's actually an app right now you can syndicate to, I think it's 9 different video sites with one click of a button right from your iPhone. It's unbelievable the tools we have at our disposal right now. But also repurposing content. If you think about recording a video, so you've got this video content. If it's a long video, we could break it up into several videos. You could take the audio from it and make a blog, talk radio podcast. You can use iTunes podcasts or video casts for free. You can take what you say and turn it into a transcript and make it a blog post. It starts with video. It starts with creating that content, that valuable content, knowing what it is that your market wants, recording it, and then from there you can piece it out and reuse it and syndicate it all over. And then the other thing is you can also do webinars and Skype video interviews. There's so many different things you have at your disposal right now. This is a great time to be in video marketing. It's a great time to be in mobile video, and that is why I'm really all excited about this. So, Peter.
Yes.
So,
you there?
Did you have any questions, or are you seeing questions that people have? That
yeah, there's a bunch of questions, but I think we should probably let me see. I'll go ahead and answer a couple before we move on. A lot of people are asking, well, quite a few people are asking that, you know, obviously all the stuff you've talked about in here doesn't only apply to Apple products. You know, most of this stuff will apply to Android phones. I mean, some stuff is iPhone specific or iPad specific, such as the accessories and stuff. But I mean, basically the fundamentals are the same. Isn't that correct?
They are the same. And the one thing I have to say is there's some things that I don't like about Android devices, just because I haven't found a great phone or camera app for one right now. And so that's going to change. The thing is, if there's something you don't like about iPhone, there's something you don't like about iPad or Android device, just know that in 3 to 6 months it's going to be much better. It's moving forward so fast that you know, it's something that if you use an Android, stick with your Android. If you're using an iPhone, stick with the iPhone. You don't feel like you have to switch from one to the other. There's plenty of options that you have. And so yes, the microphones are the same, except for I think there was a couple. All the accessories I was talking about, there's just a few that are proprietary to iPhone.
Yep. Okay, cool. Well, do you want to go to the next slide and just talk about the 2 different things? And then if you want to pass the screen to me, I'll let everyone know about it. that text overlapping.
So, you know, where do we go from here? Is this
professional looking slide here?
This is the first time I've seen this slide.
Yeah.
So, you know, you need to get more training, and this is something that Peter talked about in his you know,
video
marketing of this webinar. Is he and I are working together on something, and I've come out with Mobile Video Ignition, where we cover completely how to use your iPhone, how to use Android devices, how to use webcams and screen captures. But really, the focus on all of this is not how to use Final Cut Pro and Camtasia, which are excellent programs. But the thing is, a lot of times we get bogged down in too much technology. What we need to do is concentrate on how can I record my message, how can I capture my message and syndicate it out there. If you want to go more professional and do a lot of very slick animations and stuff, that's the stuff I outsource. And that's another thing I teach people is how do you figure out what things that you no longer have to do. Like I don't do my own transcriptions anymore. It would drive me nuts to spend an hour typing really slowly like I do, and it just wouldn't be worth my time. And so there's things that you need to be doing as the expert, as the business owner, is you need to be concentrating on your business, growing your business, making it more efficient, building your business, and working on your message, not editing your video, not transcribing, not doing your SEO. Those are things you can find other people to do.
Those skills are still good to have. Like I teach a lot of it myself because I do a lot of the big projects myself. But like you said, like if you're just grinding out videos day to day, you probably don't want to do that every single day.
Yeah, and one thing I don't teach is I don't teach how to do sales videos, which are more involved. Opt-in videos you can sometimes get away with just doing a very simple video. I know those work, but the type of sales videos that you and I do, they're more involved, and those are the ones I spend hours on. But as far as cranking out content, cranking out training, making marketing videos, a lot of those videos you can do very simply.
Yeah.
But definitely there is a place for understanding how to use how to use Camtasia, how to use different editing programs if you're going to get into more of the technical editing.
Yep. All right. So did you want to pass the screen over to me, and I'll take it? I'll let everyone know
is that something? Is that something you can do on your end here? Let's see.
Yeah, I probably can. Let's see. I'll do it, and like my screen will explode. Okay, I'm going to make myself the presenter. And all right, so everyone should see my screen now. So based on feedback in the bonus videos I put in video marketing secrets, people have been asking for more information. Even though we were going to plan on doing this free training anyways, I know there's going to be people who are going to want to take things to the next level. So I did talk with Matthew shortly before we decided to do all this, and as you know, he has a course that's selling right now. It's called Mobile Video Ignition. It contains a lot of the same information that I actually purchased from Matthew before I have even talked to the guy before. I bought it solely on the fact of the reviews that I found out online, and because I could just tell that he knew what he was talking about, and he knew his stuff when it came to mobile web video. So I talked with Matthew, and I got him to put together a special offer for all of my customers. So let me just go ahead and tell you what that is. Now, he sells this course online. If you go check right now, he sells it for $197. Is that correct, Matthew? I want to make sure that's correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's just a ton of wealth of information inside his course. So I talked with Matthew, and we decided to put together a special offer if you want to take your skills to the next level. So obviously you won't have to pay the full price what everyone else is asking. You know me, I'll have to put together some type of a special deal for you, especially being my customer, my subscriber. I had to hook you up for this webinar. So, and we both decided to let if you're interested in Matthew's course and you're interested in taking your mobile video skills to the next level, and you want to learn more about what Matthew talked about tonight, but in more detail, and on much more topics, then you want to check out his course. And you can get the Video Revolver Members Special at mobilevideoignition.com/VR special. Is that the correct URL, Matthew?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. And what I'm going to do now is kind of just give everyone a chance to ask questions about the presentation. If there's anything that you need more clarification on, we'd be happy to do that. If you have any questions about Matthew's course, feel free to ask those now. But we're going to stay on until everyone's questions have been answered. And we want to make sure. No, we didn't want this to turn into one of those webinars where the entire thing was a pitch fest. Of course, we wanted to put together a special offer for you if you want to take things to the next level. But we wanted to make sure you got, $197 or $97 worth of value out of the free information alone. And if mobile video, if you're not an expert at mobile video yet, then I think we've done that. If not, let us know, and we'll be happy to answer any questions. So go ahead and type your questions in the box. I'll put the link in the chat window here. That'd be a good idea. Matthew, you still there?
Yeah, I am.
My windows
do you mind if I? you mind if I say something here?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to try to figure out what's going on with my chat window here.
I think a lot of people get hung up on, or they make the excuse of, I don't have an iPhone, so I can't do this, or I have, you know, a year on my Android phone and it's not a very good phone. There's so many different options out there. You can even use, there's a Sony Bloggy that's got some Wi-Fi capabilities, actually has the ability to shoot and broadcast live. You can also use an iPod. The latest iPods have a really nice camera in it. And so the excuses for myself getting into mobile video became smaller and smaller, and really didn't have any excuses anymore. And it's the same for all of us, is the technology is getting more and more easy to understand, and it's becoming easier to use, and it's becoming more powerful and cheaper. So this is why it's so important to understand this stuff. And if you have an iPhone, great, keep an iPhone. I've got an iPhone 4 I'm still using. I'm going to use it until the iPhone 5 comes out, which should be shortly. And you know, don't get hung up on having the latest and greatest, because the iPhone 4 is great. You've got phones that are a year old, 2 years old, that still shoot great HD video. So yeah, if there's any questions, I'd be happy to take a shot at it.
Well, how about this? If you want to, go through the list of questions and kind of just pick out some, I'll go ahead and drop this slide here and bring up the members area just to show everyone all the videos and stuff really quick. Does that sound like a plan? Or
yeah, that works for me.
Okay. If you're listening right now, I put the link in the chat window or in the chat box, so you can go ahead and click on it. But I'm going to go ahead and bring this slide down and just bring up the members area just to show you what's inside. There's a lot of content in this course. I mean, there's around 100 videos or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what Matthew's done is he's split it up in his course into 3 different sections. He's got pre-production, creation. This is where you're actually going to be learning how to create the content, and then you got post-production, such as packaging your videos and syndicate it and stuff like that. I'll just click on one of these modules here just to show you, the quality of this course. So if you click on any of these modules here, you'd be expecting just like one video, right? I mean, no, you click on this and there's like, sometimes 5 videos, sometimes 10 videos, just on one topic. I mean, he's got videos on create expert YouTube account, camera stabilization, basically how to shoot the nicest high quality videos that you can with your mobile device. You've got all this stuff on webcam, screen captures, how to create Skype video interviews if you want to interview experts, how to do webinars and teleseminars, live video broadcasting. This is something new. This is the YouTube stuff, right, Matthew?
Yeah, that's actually Ustream, and we're going to be doing some stuff on YouTube. I have a couple teaser videos in there right now that gives people the basics, but really we're planning on going into a lot more depth in that because I see that as developing technology. Yeah,
so that's something new that's coming out with YouTube that a lot of people don't know about yet, correct? Especially the YouTube streaming, kind of like Ustream.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and also as an added bonus, we forgot to mention this. Matthew's going to be, whoever takes advantage of this offer, Matthew's going to be doing a special live training. Correct me if I'm wrong, Matthew. A live training on this sort of live video broadcasting stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be YouTube Live, the Google Plus Hangouts Live, and what we're going to do is we're going to talk about screen sharing, sharing your camera, and also Google Docs. So while you're, I mean, this is huge. I'm afraid for GoToWebinar. This is going to be pretty powerful.
Yeah. Okay. And that's a product you're going to be packaging up and selling separately for what, $97? You told me. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I mean, like I said, I can go through all these different modules here. I mean, I personally, I've had access to this course for probably a couple months now, and I haven't even, I've been so busy. I still have to go through a couple other modules myself. And me being, someone who knows how to produce videos, a lot of this information is brand new to me too, because it's a different kind of video. It's the mobile side of things, really. So did you want to get into some questions now, or?
Yeah, sure. One thing, I don't know, do you talk to people about Animoto, using Animoto?
No, I don't. And someone was actually asking about that earlier.
Yeah, I interviewed a guy that his name's Kyle Laspa, and we did a lightning session. It was on how to do Animoto videos and how he creates Animoto videos for his clients. And he really spends, I think he said, about like 20 minutes and $3 or $4 to have it done for him. And he's got quite a system, and he shared that system with us, and that's why I thought it was so vital to put that in there.
Where's that?
You can use it for yourself. Post-production, Animoto. Yep.
Animoto, okay. Yeah, I had some clients who were asking about Animoto too. Personally, I have not done much with it. Yeah, so I mean, just look at the content here. I mean, this is crazy. It makes my course look like makes it look like a baby. But all right, so do you want to answer some questions? I'll put the link back up.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right, so did you want me just to read them off, and I'll read them off to you, and you can answer them?
Yeah, just one at a time, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. There's quite a few here, guys, so if you could just type your question, and we'll get to you as soon as we can. Okay.
And the one thing I'll say here, Peter, is if it's something I can't answer, if people have gone to the sales page, you see one of the things I really enjoy doing is giving people additional training. So if there's a question I can't answer here tonight, I'd be happy to make either a screen capture video for you or a live action video to kind of demonstrate the answer for you.
Sweet. Thanks for that. I'm sure everyone would appreciate that. Okay, so let me just scroll down here. Okay, so Mike Chapman says, "Hi, Peter. I purchased your course. I have an iPhone 4S that I haven't used much." Okay, he's basically asking if this webinar is going to be recorded. But there was someone else asking, what is the best iPhone or the best camera phone or smartphone, sorry, for actually shooting the best quality video? And I think I know that answer, but I'm going to hand it off to you.
I would have to say, from everything that I've tried, the latest iPhone, that kind of can be a ongoing answer there. Right now it's the 4S, soon it'll be the 5. They seem to be about 6 months to a year ahead in some of their optics and their software. Their apps are outstanding. So I recommend, if someone did not have a smartphone, they wanted to buy a new one, I'd say buy the latest iPhone.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you already have an iPhone 4, use that. If you have any type of Android phone that has an HD camera in it, I'd say start with that. And after using it for a while, you see what you like and what you don't like about any of these.
Cool. And someone was asking if I can find it. Apologize if I don't say her name, but someone was asking, can you name a good mount for the iPad? And I have a mount for my iPad. It's basically like a snake mount. I don't know what you'd call it. And I actually did a video about it in Video Marketing Secrets. But it's kind of like a clamp mount. But I know they make other ones that allow you to mount them directly onto your tripods. You know what I'm talking about, Matthew? They have it's like that black plastic casing, kind of looks like a Star Wars helmet.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, they do have some. Personally, I made my own. I just made it out of a couple of pieces of wood and some L brackets. And if people are interested in that, I can send them a photo of it. It's very simple to make. I think it costs about $6.
Oh, sweet.
But I'm sure you have a much more professional looking one than I have, and it's probably a better version of it.
Yeah, you can basically clamp it anywhere if you think about it.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, I'd be curious to see what you're using. There is one company, HD Hat, H-A-T, hdhat.com. They have a store there, and the guy has a lot of mounts for iPhones and even some stuff for the Kodak ZI-8, but also iPads. And he has a great iPad mount that I'd recommend. It has a sliding lens on it, so you can exchange lenses on the fly. I think it runs about $160.
Okay, cool. Dawn is asking, how do you upload a video from your iPhone to someone's website? I guess he's talking directly. I guess, you know, this is kind of a loaded question because the video has to be hosted somewhere. So
yeah, when I'm using Filmic Pro, you can upload to what they call an FTP. It's a file transfer protocol, I think, if I'm remembering correctly.
I think that's right, yeah.
Yeah, and all it means is upload to a website. So once you have your login and password, and I believe your where your hosting is, there's I think 3 fields you need to fill in. Once you have that, you can select a folder where you want to upload those videos directly from, say, Filmic Pro up to your video, and then you'd have to make a link. So the simple way to say, I guess, you can't just shoot a video and then have it uploaded directly to your website. There may be some workarounds you can do that. So the thing you'd have to do is just make that link within your site at some point.
Yep. Okay. Now Joseph is asking, well, he's saying, I have a Samsung Infuse. Video is super. Can that be edited in Camtasia? Desktop program, I'm assuming.
That one I don't know.
Okay. Well, I assume he could just take the video and you know, import it into his computer and edit it that way. Is that what you're saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm curious to know what file format it is. I imagine it's shooting in MP4, but I'm not quite sure that model. Could you give me the model number again?
It's a Samsung Infuse. Yeah, I mean, I would assume it. I mean, it must be. You know, even if it's a different file type, you could probably take that into Handbrake and convert it into an MP4.
Handbrake. The other thing I say that is the great equalizer is YouTube. Something I didn't share in the training is one of the reasons I upload everything to YouTube is YouTube in their billions of dollars have figured out and have mastered how to code videos.
Oh yeah.
So if you ever had videos that you put on your website and they load and they load and they load and you're just waiting, it's because they don't have a I think they, depending on what software you're using, it's called a compressed head or a fast start. And one of the things that YouTube does is it does that for you. So as it's loading, it's playing the compressed version of the beginning of your video. So I upload everything to YouTube, and there are some great YouTube tools. If you own the video, you can write in YouTube, you can download it back to your hard drive, and then you can put that anywhere, and you know it's going to be an MP4 that'll play on anything.
Yeah, that's been one of my personal secrets too, as well, is when you get like a video that is really big and you don't want to mess around with trying to convert it and making it you know, a compressed video file that will play, you know, almost immediately on a website. You know, I just upload it to YouTube, then download the MP4. That's basically what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, I apologize if I say your name wrong, but Ganti is saying, I have a real estate agent and a medical spa owner asking for videos of their place. They want a panoramic view, which the client can walk through using his mouse pointer. Okay, so I'm assuming it's like an interactive type video where you can kind of give like a virtual tour of the place.
Sure.
Yeah, we kind of did some of that when I used to work in the architecture field, but it has nothing to do with video. What we did basically 3D animations. But anyways, this Ganti is saying, can you point me in the right direction to be able to shoot and upload the panoramic videos? Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I used to do panoramic videos. It was like I take 2 photos and then I have like a sphere video, or I'm sorry, a sphere image, and people could navigate through buildings and outside and such. And one of the things I'd recommend doing is if they have a path that they want someone to take, is do that. Go ahead and record the screen with something. You could use Camtasia. You could also use Jing Pro, which is kind of being phased out and replaced by Snagit.
Yeah.
S-N-A-G-I-T, and that's made by TechSmith. Or you can also use Screener, S-C-R-E-E-N-R, is it?
Yeah, so yeah, Screener without the E at the end.
They've been using that for some reason. They've dropped the E.
That's a nice software, though. I like that.
Yeah, and it's free if you're going to do it up to 5 minutes, but allows you to capture the screen. So if there's a specific path they want someone to take through a property, if that's what they mean, you could capture that and then take that video. Depending on the dimensions of that video, you want to upload it to YouTube and then bring it back down in something that you can edit.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Charlie says, I'm in. Grabbed it. Great deal, guys. Thank you. You're welcome. Rhonda says she purchased, but she can't get into the members area. We'll get you, Matthew will get you squared away as soon as we can on that.
You bet.
just go ahead and forward your order info to what is your support address?
Yep, you can directly to me, Matthew with 2 T's at expertvideoempire.com.
Yeah, so if anyone purchased and they can't log in for whatever reason, go ahead and send Matthew an email. He'll get you set right up here.
Yeah, I'm terribly sorry about that, and it's something I'll remedy within a few minutes.
Okay. All right. Could one just get started? Okay. Wow is asking, could one get started just using a regular HD flip cam? And I'll just go ahead and say yes. I mean, although this training is mobile specific, yeah, if you have an HD flip cam, probably 90% of my videos from my recent course were shot with an HD flip cam. So yes, but the training, this training here is dedicated to more on the mobile aspect side of things, which is where everything is kind of going over the next, I would say, couple years. Wouldn't you say, Matthew, that everything's going to be kind of going towards mobile devices? And I think the HD flip cams are going to kind of be phased out because they're really going to be irrelevant if you think about it. I mean, why would you need an HD flip cam if your phone can do everything and more? But you can get started with one.
And there's a couple of things they're trying to do is they do have a Wi-Fi SD card, and I have experimented with that, and the problem is the transfer speed is extremely slow yet. So that's something, you know, give it 6 months to a year and it'll get faster, and a year, you know, year and a half from now it'll be even faster.
Yeah.
I would not discard your HD flip cam. That's what I use that quite a bit. I use that for interviews and such. It's a great camera. I say to people, use what you have, and Peter definitely has some great training on how to use that. So I recommend, like I said before, use what you have. Don't feel like this is telling you have to go out and run out and spend a few $100s on something right now.
No, exactly. No. And actually, I'll just go ahead and make a confession right now. I still own the old school iPhone 3GS just because I'm kind of waiting for the 5 to come out. And
yeah,
when I wanted to get into mobile video, I actually went out and just bought an iPad because it was actually cheaper. I said, I'll experiment with this mobile video just a little bit. So I talked to Matthew, decided to get an iPad 3 because it could shoot, you know, HD video. And but yeah, once the iPhone 5 comes out, I'm going to be jumping on that. So
yeah, and if I could go off that just for a second, you had sent me some questions, and I have other people that send me questions. This is not a dead membership site where it's basically you just go through the videos and then there's a brick wall there and you contact customer support. This is something that I'm actively in. My morning starts out with, and I've had people who are you know, work in productivity, they say to not do this, but my morning starts out with customer service because that's where I feel, you know, if you lack in customer service, then it's kind of
it all falls apart from there.
Yeah. So that's why if you have questions, you're talking directly to me. That's something that I get people contacting me all the time, and if I don't know something, I will investigate it for you, and I'll create a video. And then what I end up doing is a lot of times is I put those videos on YouTube, or I put those videos in a membership site. If it's, you know what, I should do a training on this. This is the third question on this now. You know.
Yeah. Okay. You still there? It sounded like you faded out for a minute.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I'm just.
If you want to go up to the pre-production, research and prepare. The keyword relevance, in my last course I had that, it's the first one, the keyword relevance is so important. I had that kind of in the back, kind of towards the end of my course, the last one I did, and I realized it really all starts with doing your research. One of the things I had a problem with is when I was promoting my book is I did all these videos saying, oh, I know what people want, I know it, you know, this will be great, and I didn't connect with people because I wasn't speaking their language. I wasn't answering their questions. And going through these videos, you're going to be able to see amazing things through like Quantcast, SpyFu. You're able to spy on your competition and see what it is that their keywords are, what they're paying for, what their budget is, you know, what they're getting for what they're using for their SEO. Google Keyword Tool, you see what type of traffic that is already going to those keywords you have in mind. So think about think about doing research before you even hit record. That is vital that you do that so you don't waste time making videos that no one's going to watch.
Yeah, good point, good point. Okay, I'm going to go on to a couple more questions here. Is that cool? Okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
People are able to log in now. Charlie says, I'm in the membership area now. This is awesome. Absolute ton of content. Thank you, guys. You're welcome.
Thank you.
And okay, someone's asking about a non-HD. Okay, yeah. So Wild's question that I basically asked earlier, he was basically talking about a non-HD flip cam. I would say, I mean, if that's all you got, I mean, you could probably get started with it, but you'd probably want to eventually get an HD. Wouldn't you agree, Matthew?
I agree that we're not going backwards to standard definition. So
yeah.
People, you can still get your message out. That's the key thing, is how are you going to get your message out. But if you look at the formatting of YouTube, really they're going to dictate where video goes, and it's all HD format right now. So use what you have. If your budget dictates that you can spend a couple $100 and get a nice HD camera. There's also HD cameras out there. I'm sure, Peter, you have several that you recommend that aren't Wi-Fi or have some kind of contract with them with a phone company that are perfectly good. They shoot great video. So I don't want to discount any HD cameras out there that are not Wi-Fi. I just use the mobile video because of the time savings that I needed.
Yep. And plus, you can look more like a ninja when you go and try to impress a client. You just pull out your phone.
That's right.
Okay. Let's see here. Scrolling through the questions.
You know what?
Yeah.
The other thing I have to say is when you start shooting, this happened to me. I had a client that we shopped around. And I said, well, I'll help you, find someone who will do these quote-unquote professional videos for you. And so we're looking at a 3 to 5 minute promo video for him to be kind of showcased in this business. And the quote we got back was between $6,000 and $8,000.
That's crazy.
And I said, before we even go there, let's use the iPhone. So I brought my iPhone in, I brought some lights, and I put the little $25 microphone on him. And the other thing I have to say is I use what I teach people. So if I'm telling people to get this $25 microphone, yes, there are more expensive microphones out there, but I want to use what I'm teaching people. So we put the $25 microphone on, the same adapter that I talked to you about earlier, and we recorded some videos, put them up. He was so impressed that he went and bought a light kit. He watched some of my videos how to do it, and he sent me a link to some videos he did. I'm like, dude, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's for me, at some point, if people here are doing some social media consultation and you can teach people these things. You can teach your clients, say, great, I'll do some videos for you. Hey, you might want to use this technique when you're capturing some some reviews or testimonials. Here's how I would do it.
Yep. Yeah, that's a great point. You might was your client still coming back to you for future videos, or?
Yes.
Now that he learned all this.
Yeah, like there was some more involved videos. So when he was just talking to the screen, that was one thing. But when we were going to do some editing and titles and stuff, he came back to me. And when I did the editing, I did all the flashy stuff, and it took a lot longer, and it was more expensive.
Yeah.
So, it's you can do the shoot, trim the ends, and upload it. And if you look at the first video I did, it took me 20 hours doing some flashy stuff and doing a lot of takes, to the second video I did. The first time I uploaded it on YouTube, going that second route, it took me about 10 minutes of figuring it out and getting the video online. So 20 hours of monkeying around with stuff versus 10 minutes of getting something 90% the quality online.
Yeah, that's mobile. I mean, mobile is all about saving time, so I can definitely relate to the time factor there. I mean, some videos I've spent, days on, and I should never have done that, especially starting out. If I, had something like this to start out with, I would have been, months ahead, easily.
Well,
especially
there's a lot of great video courses out there, and I've seen some that are very expensive, some that are hundreds of dollars a month. There's one that one of my clients bought, and I went through myself. It was about $2,000, and the problem was it was a part-time job just going through the course. And how I designed this is to get you up and rolling, and when you have a question, you can find the video on it. If there isn't a video about it, you ask me. There's a contact area right there. You can ask me your questions, and I will answer them. I answer any of the questions that I get the first thing in the morning.
Cool. Okay, so David's asking, let's see, do you have any content on SEO or first page ranking? And yes, you do. That's under keyword relevance, right?
Yep. And there's a few of them in there. One of them is starting. A lot of people don't know this, but Google and YouTube, which are one and the same, they will take into consideration the name of your file. So if you can change the name of your file before you upload it and put your SEO into that actually does have some weight. So there's a lot of little tips and tricks. The YouTube videos, there's a bunch of YouTube videos on how to optimize your channel. It's sad to see so many businesses that have some good quality videos, but they haven't optimized their channel, so no one can find them.
Yep. Okay. Let's see here. I'm just trying to catch up here. Andre's saying there's tons of content. Won't it be overwhelming? I would like to just say, yeah, there's tons of content, but Matthew's structured this in a way that you can basically watch what you need to, when you need to. You don't need to go through all of this information right away. That's exactly what I'm doing, is I'm just going through, like specifically, I wanted to learn more about the iPad and the iPhone. So I basically just watched all the videos related to that. And then if there's something else that I want to learn about at a different time, such as Skype video interviews, I want to get into interviewing some people eventually. I would go ahead and watch that module. So it's nicely split up into separate areas, so you can go and watch only what you need to. It's kind of like I don't know what the word, a la carte maybe, type course, where you can take what you need and come back later.
Yep, it's non-linear, so it's not like you start at number one and go on from there. One of the things that I recommend people do is go through the pre-production, the research and prepare, because it's vital that you understand your ideal client profile, or who is it you're targeting. You want to make sure that your videos are targeting the right people. If you're targeting the wrong people, you're either wasting your time or going to bring the wrong people through any type of funnel you have, your marketing strategy. And then it also covers outsourcing. I don't know if you want to click on that. I think there's 6 or 7 videos just on outsourcing.
Where is that?
It's pre-production. Yep, the pre-production area, delegation, your next move. And so at some point, it's good to start getting other people to help you with these things. As a business owner, as the expert, you're going to want to make sure that you're not doing all the little things that are repetitive tasks that are mechanical. You want to make sure that you have other people helping you with that.
Yep.
So yeah, so that's really key that people think about that. And you can start really simple with using something like Fiverr, and how do you find the right people on Fiverr. I have full-time people right now working for me, and you can make it really economical, and you can get great quality work too if you know how to do it right.
Yep. Yes, and lots of people asked how I had that Transformers style introduction for my sales video for Video Marketing Secrets, and that was actually done on Fiverr. I paid someone, a guy on there, just $5 to do the video, and then I paid another guy who was a voiceover artist who does movie trailers. I paid him $5. So all in all, that video cost me $10. And I suppose if I wanted to, I could really, bring one of those guys on full time and have him do more ongoing projects if I really wanted to. And there's no way I would be trying to teach myself how to do After Effects and stuff like that. It's just not worth it to me.
Yeah, learn After Effects, over the course of a week, or pay someone $10 to do something amazing for you in a couple days.
Yep. Al is asking, will future streaming update be present in this course? I'm not quite sure. I understand that. Do you know what he's talking about, Matthew?
Future streaming? No, I'd have to look into that.
Yeah. Yeah, we will have to, if you want to maybe send Matthew an email or post a question in the members area, I'm sure look into that for you. I don't mean to speak for you, but
no. If anybody didn't get their question, feel free to email me again, Matthew with 2 T's at expertvideoempire.com.
Yeah, I put that in the chat box too, everyone. And David's asking, what kind of lights do you recommend? Is there a kit or a website? I believe we used pretty much similar lighting. I actually got mine from a site, or I got them from Amazon, but they're made by Cowboy Studio. They are kind of cheap, but they work great. Is that where'd you get yours, Matthew?
I got mine, I believe, on Amazon. Amazon and eBay are great places to get light kits. I'd say the first light kit that I got has a single bulb, and the single bulb in it is enormous, and to replace it is very expensive. So I highly recommend, if you're going to get a light kit, a couple soft boxes, you can get them for under $120. Get ones with multiple light bulbs in it. So those multiple light bulbs would be, they'll have 4 or 5 in there, and you can turn them on and off independently.
Yeah, and like if everyone can see the screen right now, as Matthew's actually holding like a little clamp light there. If you're on a budget, this is what I did to just create some extra lighting on top of my soft boxes. I went and bought some of these at Home Depot or Lowe's, like $8 a piece. These little silver, I don't know, like tinfoil lights. And basically, you go buy the actual CFL light bulbs at Lowe's, and then you basically create some nice cheap effective lighting that way too. So if you don't want to go out and get the soft boxes right away, you can get away with a couple of these. I mean,
yeah, and I think the bulbs are $8, $9, and then you and I get them at the same place, about $8, $9 for the utility light as a clamp light there.
Yep. Yeah, and the good thing about these lights is they don't get hot, so you can actually stand in front of them. At least I can, for quite an extended period of time, and really don't even feel the heat. Like I've had like 30 of these things on me throughout the creation of one of my recent videos, and it's like, shouldn't I be like sweating or kind of like cooking right now? But no.
Oh yeah, when I'll just say, you definitely, I tell people to use CFL or compact fluorescent lights. When I was in professional video production, if you want to call it that, a few years ago, we had very, very expensive lights. These lights, a light kit cost $2,000, $2,500, and the thing is, they got so hot when we were in a little room. Right before we're ready to record, we turn the lights on, get the camera set, record, okay, cut, turn off the lights because everybody's cooking. And not only that, is they take up so much electricity, we had to run cables to different circuits throughout the building because they would actually pop the circuit. Yep. You don't have to worry about the heat or the electricity used when you use CFLs.
Yep. Yeah, and someone, Eva's asking, or Ava, sorry if I pronounce your name wrong again. I think it's Eva. What is CFL? That basically stands for compact fluorescent lighting. And it's basically what we were just talking about, this type of light bulb that you use. And they put off a different kind of light too. They put off like a more white light compared to like your household bulb, which is kind of like yellowish. It's going to make your, which is if you're doing professional videos, you don't really want that yellowish tint in your videos. It just doesn't look, it looks dirty and unprofessional. Yeah. So these types of light bulbs actually emit a nice white bluish type light.
And I think both you and I like the white background look, or that Apple commercial look, and having the CFLs really help with that.
Yeah. Yep.
If you use a yellow light, it's really hard to get rid of that in the background. You have to monkey with the white balances.
Yeah. All right. Can you see the questions, Matthew? Or I just didn't know if I didn't want to miss anything that.
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. Joe's asking how many videos and modules. Like there's around 100 videos, but it's split up.
Yeah, I think there's 96, but we're continually adding to this. This is my technology program that I'm going to continually build on. I'm going to continually make more and more concise as technology changes that will be updated. So like all the YouTube videos, they have the latest YouTube